I have to apologize for the inconvenience. I had to delete that last video. I got the scriptures wrong. I want to turn your attention to actually Ephesians 2, verses 8 through 10. And we are talking on gender. Yes, I know it's a controversial topic, even if you're a Christian. If you get offended by this topic, well, and it's not for me to tell you. It's for you to accept by faith in Christ. So let's get to the verses. And I'm reading from New American Standard Version. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not as a result of works, so that no one may boast. I want to stop and break it down to you right here. Let's go back to Ephesians 2, verse 8. For by grace you have been saved through faith. Okay, key words here are grace and faith. Okay, what is grace? Mercy, kindness. God showed His grace to you by saving us. And it's through faith, it's through trusting in God that we are saved. It is through faith that our faith justifies that we are saved. And what else does the verse say? It says this, and that none of yourselves, it is the gift of God. So, salvation is a gift of God. You are saved through faith, and that none of yourselves, it is the gift of God. Then verse 9 says this, not as of works, not as a result of works, so that no one may boast. What does that mean? No one may boast. So you see, if someone were to say, oh, I saved that person, they'd be boastful, prideful. But let's see what verse 10 says. It says this, for we are His workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand, so that we would walk in them. So, since we got those verses out of the way, I want to talk about gender. It's a topic people don't want to hear. And, we shouldn't cross this line of saying, well, Daniel, you can't tell me which gender I want to be. I have that choice. Actually, you and me, we never really had a choice on the gender we would be. If you would ask me, I would say man. And if you were to say to me, well, I've had that choice since I was a baby. So let me see. Ever since we were babies, we've had time cards of who we can be. No, God made us male or female. Sometimes we will have deformities, but we can't help that. Sometimes we can't help if we are deformed in some way. Sometimes we really cannot help if we are born with deformities, disabilities, shortcomings, but we cannot help that. So there is a line in the sand that we shouldn't cross. We should not cross this line. See, we are created in the image of Christ. We are to do what Christ wants, not what we want. See, this is where free will comes in. And we do abuse it, but praiseful that God is graceful. God shows His grace to us because He loves us. If He didn't show His grace, would He love us? Just because we may think we have the choice to if we're a woman, we can be a man. We can switch over to be a man. No. Stop. I want to stop you right here. You have been given the right to be a man from God, to stay a man. You've been given the right to be a woman, to stay a woman from God, because you were created to be in His image. You were created for nothing else other than the purpose is to serve Christ with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and not to lean on your own understanding. You see here, this is a line. The people don't want to hear it being talked about because they're so offended that you, well, they don't want you to be killed. But you gotta walk the line. You gotta point it out to them. Don't cross this line. Don't do it. You know, once you have the surgery and stuff to get stuff removed from your body, a man becoming a woman, you'll never come back. You'll never come back to who you feel you are. You're damaging the temple of Christ. This is the temple of Christ. You are made to serve God with all your heart. So, if you are struggling tonight with the thoughts of, man, Daniel, I'm a man, 29 years old, want to be a female tomorrow because people just keep on picking on me. Don't give up. Don't surrender to sin. Don't give up. God is still graceful. God will fight the battles you can't fight because there's a war going on inside. And I will give you some advice right here. Just utter this verse, Luke 4:8. The King James Version, basically what it's saying is, "Get behind me, Satan." It is where Jesus is being tempted in the desert. And he tells Satan, get thee behind me, Satan, for you shall worship the Lord your God, and him only you shall serve. So if you're struggling with your identity in Christ, just know you are a new creation in Christ. Nothing else. You can't choose your gender. You can't choose it. You can't. As a baby, you are born either male or female. Yes, there may be some that have deformities. But in the eyes of God, we all have a purpose for something. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much for coming to this group, In and Out of Reach Ministries. And thank you for coming to this channel, In and Out of Reach.